Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. You guys know I finished a sweater. It took me 3 whole weeks. I did it. I mean, that's like amazing. That's like speed knitting. That's what that was. But did it 3 weeks. I was on a mission. June, I know June's over, but June was, things were making Thursday, it was garments. Okay, you know, and I started a new sweater instead of being responsible and working on things that I was supposed to. I mean, that's just how that goes. And yes, I had to. It was this one. If you're new to the channel and you are not aware, this pattern is called Kaylee. The yarn I used is Myrtle, the actual yarn that they used here, but mine's mint green, right? I had to do it. I had to do it. I'll throw a picture up of it. But anyway, it was, I mean, 3 weeks. That's insane. 3 weeks. Well, I was scrolling through Facebook, right? You know, and now if you're new and everything, you'll know that Facebook for me is just a bunch of yarn ads and things like that. I don't use it for anything else. It's not, you know, hey, can I join your Facebook and everything? You know, no, I don't have. I should have one for this though, shouldn't I? I should, but yeah, whatever. I digress. That's not what we're talking about. So I was scrolling through there, and one of the groups I'm part of is a Japanese knitting group, right? You know, it's the Japanese Stitch Bible and stuff, and people using the Japanese type style knitting. And oh my gosh, the inspiration and gorgeousness that comes with that. Well, there was a sweater that popped up, and, you know, I immediately went to the comments going, is that an actual pattern? Because, I mean, let's face it, right now we've got AI generated everything, and AI generated gorgeous crochet patterns that you can't actually crochet. You know what I'm getting at? Or the same with the knitting. I mean, you see some stunning stuff and it just like makes your heart skip a beat and everything. You're like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. And then you realize it's not really real. You know, your brain's kind of like, something's not right about this picture. So I was scrolling and I thought maybe this one could have been, you know, possibly AI generated, or somebody else just took a bunch of the motifs from the Japanese stitching Bible, knitting compendium, whatever, and made their own thing. No, it's an actual sweater pattern that I was able to purchase. Yes. So this particular sweater pattern, I mean, you know, it was going to talk to me. There are some patterns that I come across that I think are so amazing, and I have no intentions of actually making them, but it'll talk to me and talk to me and talk to me until I purchase the pattern and read the pattern like a good book from front to back and dream about the yarns that I would use and the techniques, and I would change this and I would add that, right? All of that stuff. And then it'll stop talking to me, right? Whether I ever make it or not's not the point. The pattern will leave me alone. There are multiple patterns that I have in my pattern library that did that. And, you know, there are some of them that, you know, every time I would open up Ravelry or whatever pattern source that I was looking at, that one, because it was so popular, would pop up and talk to me until I finally bought it, right? So I've learned my lesson, sort of. And this one I saw, and I think I bought it the same day, which is amazing because it's actually kind of a little bit on the pricey, you know, size of the pattern. It's $10. And wait, there's more. It comes in one size. Just, that's it. It is written, it's one size. And I love this. Okay, you might get a kick out of this, maybe not. So it says, using 3 strands of fingering weight, a size 10, 6 millimeter. Is that what it is? 6 millimeter? Yeah, a US 10, 6 millimeter knitting needle. That's a big knitting needle. Okay, I don't normally get into that big, but you're putting 3 strands together and, you know, equaling an Aran weight. And there you go, and like 17 stitches per the inch. Like, okay. Now, the pattern says, I love this, okay? This is kind of fun. Let's see. This is a general size pullover. Oh, I'm going to show you what it looks like. A general size pullover designed to fit someone weighing around 150 pounds. Okay. Okay. And a height around 165 centimeters. No clue what that is. I'd have to translate it. Whatever. And yeah, there you go. Oh, and a bust of 42 inches. Ding, ding, ding. I got that. I got that. Not the 150 pounds, but I do have the 42-inch bust. And a neck of 16 inches. Okay. Okay, my neck's smaller than that, so that would be the neck. Well, perfect. I'm like, I could do that. I could do that. And we know gauge makes a difference and yarn makes a difference and all that other stuff makes a difference. But I thought that was really funny. You know, 150 pounds, like, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. So the pattern is called Flourish. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? Look at the wonderful detail on that. Let me see. I don't know if I can get it better on here. I might have to take a picture and everything and just input it. But look at that. Look at just the nice stitch. That's unusual stitch. You've got, I did not know it at the time. There's brioche knitting in there too. I know, it's a good thing I took that brioche class, right? But you know, you got a little bit of everything in there. You got some cables in there, you got some brioche knitting, you got a little lace, you got a lot of movement with that yarn. Let me see, here's somebody made it in gray. Look at that. Okay, I know, there we go. Okay, so there's not, what is like 4 patterns, 4 people have started that on Ravelry. There's no other people that have finished it besides the designer. And I went ahead and purchased the pattern. Now the pattern is easy enough for me to read and to deal with, but the way that it's laid out, it's a lot of charts. And if you are looking for step-by-step instructions and lots of hand-holding and details, this pattern doesn't have it. If you've done other things and worked with charts and everything, yes, you can definitely do this. I don't think it's a beginner. And again, it's in one size, and then just make it work or don't. So then I went to my yarn store and I was like, hey, check out this pattern. Well, Deb, the owner of the yarn store that I go to, is like, oh my gosh, I saw that sweater in person. What? So she was at one of the yarn shows, and you know, where the yarn people go and they like make broker deals, and now they carry different yarns. I don't know. I'm not part of that world. I just dabble in that world, right? So she was at one of those, and the designer of this sweater, Flourish, look at that, was there. She had a booth and it was on display. So she saw it in person. It's like, oh, what yarn did she use? She's like, probably the whatever it says. It talks about 3 strands of a Tibetan yak. I mean, sounds luxury, you know, and the designer's like, hey, come to my Etsy site and everything, and I can sell you the yarn. Well, that's great, but I would like to touch the yarn and feel the yarn if it's going to be that pricey, right? You know, and not knowing, because any fiber can be really nice or not so much, even though it has the same name. So definitely didn't want to go there, and I wanted to support my local yarn store, right? So we're looking around, and she's talking about using a yarn that has like a slight halo. Okay, like a little bit of a fuzzy thing. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. With all those gorgeous stitches, I wouldn't want a halo on it. I would want a clean, crisp yarn that's going to really show the definition of those stitches, right? I mean, that right there, if you're going to go through the trouble to make that, I mean, look at that. If you're going to, yeah, you can see the detail in that. If you're going to do that, you want it to just pop. So we're looking around the store and everything, and I had no intentions of actually purchasing the yarn that day. I was just kind of see, you know, I wasn't sure I was going to buy it or make the sweater. Like I said, I got the pattern so it wouldn't continue to talk to me because it was just gorgeous. I knew it was going to talk to me, and I had no intentions of actually purchasing yarn to make said thing. So she's working with this fuzzy lace weight yarn that she's carrying along with another yarn. And she was showing me that and everything. And she's like, hey, check out this other one. We've got it in different colors. Now, I don't normally gravitate towards this yarn. To me, this yarn looks felted. It looks felted. I can't even tell the strands from it. Look at this. It looks like a felted mess. Now there's 514 yards in this, and it is 50 grams. This is 50 grams. This is a true lace weight, 50 grams for this, 514 yards, and I can't find the string. I mean, look at that. Look, you know, that to me looks like a felted matted mess. But okay, but I got it. And let me see if I can pull a strand out so you can see. So you can see right there, right? That's tiny. That is that, and that's the carry along. Okay. And she's like, oh my gosh. She was showing me this, and I'm like, I'm not impressed. Okay, I didn't say that. Well, actually, I do actually say that. There's certain yarns that I gravitate towards, and certain ones I don't, right? I'm like, yeah, that's not me. I don't want fuzzy. I don't want a halo. I want sharp, crisp stitches, what have you, you know. I'm like, I don't know. And then she's like, oh, look. And we know I've shown you all some great colors that Malabrigo has. She pulls this one up. And this color, and this is Malabrigo sock. So it's a 100% superwash merino. Their ultimate sock has nylon in it. This one's just the merino wool. And it is fingering weight, 440 yards, 100 grams. Okay, sock weight, fingering weight yarn, right? Well, we know that thing said is like three strands of fingering weight. I think it was actually a little lighter than that. That they're running together. Well, I'm not going to buy 3 strands of this, whatever. And she's like, wouldn't this be amazing together? Oh, okay. That got me thinking. So this is the merino wool, and this is 55% baby alpaca, 21% fine merino, and then the other 24% is nylon to give it some strength, right? So she's like, wouldn't these be amazing together? I'm like, yes. So then I left there with a sweater quantity worth of yarn that I had absolutely no intention of purchasing. But it did it. Yeah. So I've got these, and I wanted to swatch to see how this behaved. Well, actually, because this only comes in one size. You either make it work or you don't. And I was thinking, she told me that with this right here, this lace and this fingering, 2 of them together would probably work up to around a DK weight. I know that's supposed to be an Aran weight, but wait a minute. Remember, the pattern has you working on size 10, US 10s, 6mm needles. And this has a serious halo. So it's going to fuzz in, right? That's going to fuzz in. So I'm like, I threw caution to the wind, and I bought 3 of each. I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. Oh, did I mention the sweater is 34 stitch is the the pattern, right? 34 stitches. So 204 stitches around. So you're repeating that pattern graph 6 times. Okay. And if you wanted to make it bigger, you'd do 8 times, and then it would be a lot bigger, right? And if you wanted to do it smaller, well, then use different yarn. So, all right, 204 stitches. I could do that. But I needed to swatch. I need to do something, right? I did swatch. And I didn't want to use this one because this I have 440 yards in each one. So a little over 1,300 yards. This I have 3 of them, so I have over 1,500 yards. And the pattern stated it was closer to 1,100 yards. And I think that was 1,100 of each, not 1,100 total. It's not like, you know what I mean? For each strand. And I'm not sure if that is correct. So I didn't want to use any of this in my swatch and then potentially not be able to pull it out because this is so fuzzy, and sometimes things make it really difficult to pull things out. So I wanted to be able to leave my swatch the way it is. So I was digging around everything. I'm like, I have fingering weight yarn. Yeah, that'll work, right? It doesn't matter. I just wanted to test it. So I put this on size 10, US 10 needles, 6mm, holy cow. And there is the swatch. This thing is so light. It is like air. I mean, absolutely like air. And then the funny thing is, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, I don't even know what yarn. This isn't even coming there. If I come back a little farther, that's truer. It blows out when I'm right here. But that right there is such a bright blue. And I don't know what yarn it is, but wow, on here, it looks fantastic, and then I'm over here going, I want this. But again, I don't know what that is, and I already bought this. So there you go. So I have a gauge swatch. Now, my gauge swatch is closer to 8 inches. They said the 34 stitches is supposed to be like 7 inches, and then that would be that 42-inch bust. And this is like 8 inches. So I'm like, sweet. All right, that'll be a little bit bigger. I'm good with that. I'm gonna, yeah, there you go. I mean, I could test it again by going down in needle size, but I'm not going to go that crazy. I just, whatever. Because, I mean, look at this. This has got the lace, and if you block it and everything, it can bloom out and stretch. And look, this is the brioche knitting right over here. Right? You know, so I mean, it can stretch. It's got some give and everything on that, and it'll be fine. So I am throwing caution into the wind. I bought a pattern not unlike this thing when I first saw it, with all that pretty lace right here. I mean, I just fell in love with it and just immediately cast it on and everything. And 3 weeks later, I now have a sweater. And then the Flourish pattern, it's by JJ Wong. Did I say that right? Maybe. This one, I mean, that right there, that spoke to me. I mean, look at the way that those stitches just move. It's just stunning. It's just, I mean, that is just, it talked to me. It spoke to me. So I bought the pattern. I had no intention of buying yarn, and I definitely didn't intend to get fuzzy yarn. Fuzzy looks like, and I'm telling you, if I wasn't talking with the store owner, there's no way I would have got this. To me, this looks like just old, matted, already felted yarn. I'm like, how does that even work? I don't even know. But in that swatch, it worked beautifully. It looks great, and it feels amazing. So you know what I'm going to do? Since I've got plenty of this, and I didn't even try to pull it out to see, you know, because obviously with that fuzzy alpaca, I figured it'd be difficult. But this is so light right here, and I was thinking I could sew my swatch together like this, make another one, and then that would be, I could give that as a gift as just some wrist warmers, something like that, because it feels amazing. It is just such luxury. And I like how just the way the stitches kind of go up and everything and do that. Because I did a couple rows on my swatch. I did a couple rows of garter stitch and then went right into the pattern. And the pattern with the stitches moving the way they are, it makes that edge hem a little bit uneven, or at least it does on the swatch anyway. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll just stitch that together and just have that as a gift or something like that. I mean, it feels amazing. I've not worked with that type of stuff. I mean, it is like air. This, I mean, a whole sweater with this would be just massive luxury. So anyway, stay tuned to see what I end up doing, what I come up with trying to work on this sweater. And wish me luck on size 10 needles, because I'm telling you, that was a little cumbersome. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not used to using needles that size, the 6mm. So big needle, like I was commenting before, you can use bigger needles with smaller yarn. So this is a fuzzy lace weight and a fingering weight, and I'm using 6mm size 10 knitting needles for this. So we shall see what happens on this. Oh, and then you saw the picture with that with the sleeves. Let me pull up another one. So this is showing you, that's the sleeves worked up with that white. So they do taper at the wrist and everything, and then go up more of a form fitting. I did look over the pattern, and for something that looks so incredibly complicated, if you're an experienced knitter and you've made other garments, it's pretty straightforward. It's a box. It's a box. It's straight up. You don't have waist shaping. You don't have bust darts, not with all that different texture and everything, you know, to be able to place that in there. You don't have any of that. It is a straight up box of that. And this is just part of it. There's multiple grafts. The whole thing is graphed. But, you know, of all of these stitches that move, here you've got right here, there's cables right here. This looks kind of like a big leaf, you know, right here. And those things move all over the sweater. So you've got all these different elements on that. So all the beautiful stitches are in a box, and you don't have a bunch of, you know how a lot of things will have the set in sleeves and they'll cut in for the arms and everything. You don't have all of that. So it's very simplistic construction, but the stitches do the talking. And your yarn choice is going to definitely do the talking. So wish me luck on this, because I've not used this type of yarn and this fuzzy stuff I have never used before. So wish me luck. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's what I'm going to be doing. And blues on top of it. I like blues, but yeah, that surprised me to pick this color. I mean, does that surprise you? It's not the autumn colors. It's not the, I mean, yeah, I mean, first I go for the mint green t-shirt, you know, and then I'm just kind of stepping out on the colors. I'm stepping out. It's happening. So stay tuned. Let's see how long it takes to do this sweater. Let's see if I actually get the sweater done and work on the sleeves, because evidently I have a problem with sleeves. Yeah. So, wow, I did a swatch. I bought the pattern, bought the yarn, and did a swatch. I'm so excited. With that, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I'm going to talk to you later. Bye-bye.